along with Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, and Lindsay Lohan, Nicole Richie was a hot, stinking mess during her 20s.
I love Kobe Bryant because I want him to have sex with me. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
She was blunt and wild. She was constantly in the news for all the wrong reasons. But her life did a complete 180 after she met Good Charlotte co-founder Joel Madden. Nicole went from mugshots to mommyhood, and she hasn't looked back ever since. Now, we ain't ones to gossip, but after taking a closer look at her marriage, there are so many red flags that we can't ignore. As always, if digging into other people's business isn't your cup of tea, then politely grab your things and get to stepping. But for the rest of y'all with your nosy selves, you know this video requires something to munch on, and our concession stand at rrgsnacks.com hits the spot with items like beef and bacon jerky, buffalo ranch popcorn, and gummy sour bears. Before meeting each other, 24-year-old Joel was in a relationship with 16-year-old Hillary Duff.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an emergency. Please remain calm as you clear the building.
And if you enjoyed this video, let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG. Okay, just kidding, y'all. But seriously, that's probably one of the biggest red flags we've ever seen here at RRG. It's so huge we could close the video out on that piece of information alone. We don't have the time to dive deeper into Joel and Hillary's little situation, so if you want us to make a separate video about their past romance, just let us know in the comments section. So anyway, Nicole ended her 2-year on-again, off-again relationship with her fiancé, the late DJ AM, in May 2006, and Joel and Hillary broke up in November of that same year. In December 2006, sparks flew between Nicole and Joel, but the circumstances surrounding their first encounter are unclear since she and Joel have told different stories throughout the years. Joel is convinced they met backstage at one of his concerts, while Nicole told 60 Minutes they met at a mutual friend's party. She described Joel as being very shy and quiet. He kept to himself most of the time, and she couldn't get a good feel for him. Joel told 60 Minutes he's always overlooked and is never a woman's first choice. He knew that if he could convince her to go on one date with him, she would fall for him expeditiously. But apparently, it didn't take much convincing for Nicole. When he asked her if she had ever watched the show The Wire, Nicole lied and said yes, just so she could get the opportunity to hang out with him.
He literally dropped me in like season 3. He's like, oh, cool, season 3, episode 4. And I was like, ah! And I just like pretended to know everything, and it was horrible.
She told Oprah Winfrey they became partners from day one. The same month they started dating, she was hanging out at Joel's house. She was headed back home around 4 in the morning when motorists spotted her going the wrong way on the freeway and called 911. Nicole was locked up for DUI. She later admitted she had smoked some MJ and had Vicodin in her system to help her menstrual cramps. Joel told ABC News he had to decide if he wanted to move forward with their relationship or not. In the end, he decided Nicole was his lady and he was gonna stick beside her.
So you decided to bet on her?
Yeah, I bet on her. Yeah, exactly. And I won.
Perhaps he was hesitant because it wasn't her first brush with the law. 3 years prior, she pled guilty to heroin possession, and the charges were later dismissed after she completed the terms of her probation. She also went to rehab to kick her addiction. But Joel wasn't an angel either. As Nicole awaited trial, he was accused of putting his hands on a female photographer outside of Mr. Chow restaurant in Beverly Hills. Nicole initially wanted to fight her December 2006 DUI charge, but she eventually pled guilty in order to take accountability for her actions. She had her day in court in August 2007, and by that point, sources state she was already 5 months pregnant, which means the baby was conceived within months after she and Joel first started dating. Joel and her dad, Lionel Richie, accompanied her as she was sentenced to 4 days behind bars for her DUI charge. She was released from jail after 82 minutes due to overcrowding. With that situation behind her, she was ready to move forward with her life with Joel, and she gave birth to their daughter Harlow in January 2008. Joel told People magazine that Nicole was a completely dedicated mom, and Nicole told ABC News that meeting Joel and becoming a mommy broke all of the bad patterns in her life. They welcomed their son Sparrow in September 2009, and after that, Joel was ready to make Nicole his wife. He asked her to marry him, and she said no. The next week, he asked again, and she turned him down. He asked a third time, and she said nope. He asked a fourth time, and she said, "No way, Jose." He asked a fifth time, and she said, "Absolutely not." He asked a sixth time, and she said, "No, thank you." He asked a seventh, an eighth, and a ninth time, and Nicole said, "No, no, no." During an appearance on an Australian radio show, Joel said it took about 10 proposals for Nicole to finally say yes, and they announced their engagement in February 2010. When asked what made Nicole finally give in, he said that he pulled out their children and told her, "Do you really want to do this to these kids?" They got married at her dad's Beverly Hills estate in December 2011. Following their second wedding anniversary, Joel was all in his feelings and shared how content he was in an Instagram post. He wrote, "I feel like the luckiest man alive to have my wife and kids. When the world outside breaks me down, they build me back up. Hope everyone out there finds this kind of love." But just 2 years later, in May 2015, there were hints that their marriage was on the rocks. An insider told Radar Online that they were on the brink of divorce due to constant fights. The insider also said that Nicole and Joel were spending a lot of time apart due to Joel being a voice coach on The Voice in Australia and Nicole and their children living in California. The source added if it weren't for the kids, they'd be divorced already. Then came the news that they were selling their family home for nearly $3.5 million. Selling property is typically a telltale sign of an impending divorce, and a source told In Touch magazine that Nicole visited a divorce attorney to weigh her options because of all of the bitter arguments that were taking a toll on her. Days later, Nicole was spotted without her wedding ring, and moving vans were seen outside of their Los Angeles home. However, it was later confirmed that they were moving into their new home together as a family. Lionel even had to step in to shut the rumors down. He told Hello magazine he stopped by the couple's new home and asked Nicole about the breakup rumors and whether or not she would address them with the press. Nicole's response was apparently, "Nah." But that didn't stop the media from reporting that Nicole and Joel were getting closer and closer to calling it quits. An online source said they even went to couples therapy to fix their marriage, but nothing was working. In February 2016, In Touch magazine reported Nicole was looking through Joel's phone when she allegedly discovered he was chatting with an Australian woman who he met while filming The Voice. The insider said, "Nicole's world is falling apart and she's an emotional wreck, but she doesn't have it in her to stay in a marriage where he disrespects her feelings constantly." Is it a coincidence Joel's time with The Voice came to an end that same year? In March 2017, In Touch magazine revealed that after 6 years of marriage, their marriage was still hanging on by a thread. This time, an insider said Nicole's hectic work schedule intimidated Joel. The insider also added, Joel has had a successful music career with his band, but Nicole's become the family breadwinner. That leaves Joel feeling threatened. Another source told Radar Online that Nicole and Joel were basically living together as co-parents. They rarely share photos of each other on social media. And yeah, we know, social media activity isn't indicative of a happy relationship. But many of their fans have noticed how they went from posting about each other non-stop to rarely mentioning each other. Joel's ex, Hilary Duff, appears to comment on Nicole's posts more than Joel does. Joel last shared an image of Nicole on his page in May 2022 for Mother's Day. He did perk up a bit when he shared an image of Nicole bumping cheeks with Megan Thee Stallion. In his caption, he wrote, "2 of my faves in one photo." A month later, he was back with another photo of him and Nicole posing with Megan. But this time, he turned the comments off. In February 2022, Joel and Nicole participated in a group date night with his ex-girlfriend Hilary and her husband Matthew Coma. And on that note, we're gonna head on out. If we're on point with these red flags, let us know down below. And don't forget to follow us on TikTok for more content, like daily news updates and mini documentaries. And as always, thanks for watching RRG.